The sons of Hercules, the mighty sons of Hercules, once thundered through the years. These men of steel could never feel the curse of a coward's fears. All right, my fellow agents, welcome back. It is I, X7, your master of muscles and the powerful peplum movies they belong to. This really isn't a Sons of Hercules movie, although it is a Machiste movie, despite the title, the U.S. titling of Goliath and the Vampires. And then when it went to TV, it was just the Vampires. Like, that tells you what's going on. Having said that, please like, share, subscribe, leave a comment, and if you want to be notified, hit the notification bell. We do put up content every day. Now, this movie, we're going to be talking about Goliath and the Vampires, or Machiste versus the Vampires, I believe, is the Machiste contra il Vampiro, vampire, not vampires, because there's really only one and he's barely a vampire. But there's our AIP, of course, did this. So I've seen this movie a couple of times, and unfortunately, all the prints that are available, even the Italian ones, are kind of faded. So I do apologize. I did spruce up a bit of them here and there, but unfortunately, it just was not about to. It's not going to look any better, at least at this point in time. I think Kino Lorber was supposed to be doing a Blu-ray for this, but I couldn't find any actual proof of it. So, and that was several years ago. Once again, your humble agent is behind the times. So grab yourself a big old bowl of hummus of perfection, your favorite delivery method, and let's get into this. We'll hear the song a little more because it is very catchy. Boo, Dino. So there's Gordon Scott, who plays Machiste, and I'm going to call him Machiste because that's who he is. Goliath is, Goliath. A bad guy in the Bible, a dog that turns into a giant lion in Young Samson and Goliath, which I consider a peplum cartoon. But we'll talk about that later at some point in time. Gordon Scott was also a Tarzan, one everyone seems to like. He is not the most muscular of the peplum stars, but he's probably one of the better actors. Not that they were all bad or anything, but he just had more time in front of the camera and working with good directors. And this is well directed. It's a little long, it's just what it is. So there is our first look at him. He's a good looking guy, good Tarzan. He wears a wide variety of peplumy outfits, some better than others. He has to go save a dumb little kid, his fiance's little brother, who is Omar. I don't even know what the heck his name is off the top of my head, but that's neither here nor there. I couldn't tell exactly what he was saving him from. There's another similar shot of alleged sharks, but I couldn't tell. Saves them. They're all happy. He says, I'm going to take you back because Julia, I think it's Julia. I couldn't tell exactly what her name was, but they go back to the village, which is under assault. And finally, here's a little snippet from here.
I'm too late to do anything. Hundreds have gone. They got Julia. Murderers. Mother.
So his mother dies, and he swears vengeance upon all of whoever took them. And they're taking him to the land of Salmanac, which sounds like, I don't know what it sounds like. There is Amal, I believe is his name, or Omar. Well, anyway, he is a kind of a double agent. And there's our first look at Kobrak, pardon me, the vampire, the titular vampire of the movie. I really try some of. He's always in red most of the time when you see him. This is the land of Salmonak, where the monster, the vampire, rules over the Sultan, because his wife's in league with him. There's the Sultan who's bored and likes his pretty women. And Machiste is just wandering around with the kid, whose name I just don't remember or care enough to really find out about. Um, let's see here. We'll go a little further. There is the evil Sultaness, I guess, who's in league with them, but she sees Machiste and is very interested in him. I do really like this picture of him just flying, doing his own stunts, landing on. He's diving, dive in 1963. 63? No. 1961. This movie was released in Italy July 21st, 1961. It was directed by, let's see, Giacomo Gentilomo, allegedly Sergio Carbucci, but apparently that he didn't have too much to do with it. The effective music is by Angela Francisco Lavanino, and the direction was, yes, the direction is good. It's just could be tightened up a bit, probably by about 7 minutes. There are some things that could have been trimmed up that are just going on too long. But Gordon Scott does. He's really very heroic. He's got the presence. He's got the charisma and the gravitas to pull this off. Let's see. Are we about this far in yet? Yeah.
Enemy. I do know that mine is a murderer who lurks and hides in the darkness. We'll see if I can't make him come out.
That's our hero. What's his name? Kurtik. Who leads. Well, we'll find out more about him in a bit. There's some faceless men. There's Kurtik again, which is what we just heard. Now Julia is down in his laboratory. I think that's Julia. And there is the guy they're going to see. Unfortunately, the queen has gotten to him and then immediately kills him. Dead. Another fight scene here. So he handles this really well. There's a really great shot where he just throws a guy clean up into the rafters, which I liked a lot. I'm assuming they did it with reverse, filming in reverse, but she stays captured, and the guard wants to, let me see your strength, which is about the dumbest thing you could possibly say to a peplum hero, because let's see, here we go. Let's see.
Now, let's see what you can do. I hear that you're the man who created more damage in a single day than a battalion. Well, this is a good place for you to demonstrate your strength. Go ahead. Show me just how strong you really are.
So he does. Watch that. Oh, well, this is what he does. He immediately breaks the yoke off of him and then pulls everything down around him and gets away. Right? Yep. Crashes through everything. And he knows how to make it look good. I think that really helps, having previous movie experience, because some of the muscle men did not. There's the Sultan with the pretty girl. That's Julia there. Machiste rescues her fiance. They're betrothed, but he keeps putting the wedding off, according to little brother, and he just batters him down. Finally, he realizes maybe this guy can get rid of Kubrick. Poor Kubrick. And Magda.
Go quickly, Goliath killed the Sultan. He's fleeing the city. Get the soldiers as fast as you can.
She's kind of evil, and again in league with Kubrick there, who just immediately force chokes him. Does that not look like a force choke? Because he's a ghost. And kills the Sultan. So that's when she's telling him that they escape. They escape into a big old sandstorm. Because, of course, there's a big old sandstorm. There are tropes to peplum movies, and sandstorms, unfortunately, are one of them, which are rarely effectively filmed. This movie being so early on I mean, it's only been 3 years. It would last another 4 years till 65, but by then they were throwing anything at the wall to see if it sticks. But this movie has some good production values, and the music's good. It just needs to be shortened a bit. That's all. But they get down there. Now they're at Kurtik's lair, and this is really a cool looking lair. They find all these mummified bodies that are the result of Kobrak draining their blood. So he's kind of a vampire, but he's got more powers than most vampires do, I'll tell you what, or different powers. And they're the blue men that they're loyal to Kurtik only. And so we've got two armies now: Kobrak's faceless men and the blue men. So, and there's a little knob. I want to call him Thule from the Three Musketeers cartoon, but that's not really his name. Maybe Juja. No, that's a woman. Maybe that's Omar. I don't know which one is which. But there's Kurtik, and he's making a potion to destroy Kobrak. But he needs one final thing, and he also wants to bring everybody, the mummies, back to life, which he can do. But he can't because he needs one final ingredient. And they're also going to sacrifice Magda there. I think that's Magda. To these little critters, but she stays very kind and generous and spares her. So, as Dumbledore would said, when you spare someone, it puts them in your debt. This plays out later on. And you thought, well, anyway. She makes a pass at him, and they have a heart. He refuses her. They have a heart-to-heart here, and she's all, I don't really love him. I just wanted to, prove that I could, or something. Of course, then Kobrak finds her and says, bring the woman to him. And she does. So they're on their way. There's a lot of fire. There's a fire here, and it lasts way too long. This is a scene that could have been shortened considerably or taken out. But right before he destroys it, Kobrak says, come inside. And he's going to torture him and make him a slave. Now, I thought I had a shot in here about the boy getting killed. There it is, right here.
You're not going to die. You'll be well very soon in celebrating Goliath's return.
Really?
Do you believe me?
You wouldn't lie to me, I know that. You know so much, Curtis. I'm happy that I'll be well again. It's so beautiful to live.
Kurtik flat out lied to him, but he comforted him in his final day or final times there. So, Kobrak's going to use sound to destroy Machiste's mind and then make his body into clones so that he can take over the world, I guess. They use a giant bell, which is not a bad thing. And unfortunately, if you go back here, that is not Kobrak. That is Magda, who throws him wax to put in his ears. So he fakes it, and then he finds that Julia has been frozen into a mummy and goes berserk. But Kobrak assumes his form, which is right here. And they confront each other. He's trying to give him open a vial that'll poison everybody so that he won't be discovered. Now, we're going to switch over to a little live action because we got a great fight scene. Magda warns him, and Kobrak spears him. That's when Machiste shows up, and they confront each other. So, now we're going to switch over to the actual movie to watch this incredible fight. Judo kick. So I love this shot coming up here. That's great. This is a great fight scene. Now, rumor has it, I read in a monster International years ago that the stunt double here is actually Steve Reeves. It's hard to tell because they're covered in dirt, and they do a great job of keeping the double's face in shadow for the most part. But it's really quite well done, I think. And they type it. See, you can see that's the fake because he's got a mask on. And judo. This movie's supposedly in the public domain. I did get it from the Internet Archive. There's several versions out there, but most of them look exactly the same. There's a full screen one as well. Judo throw. Now, if you can imagine this, I don't even know if you can hear me talking. So there's our vampire, and that was the end of him. I did talk all the way through it, and I realized that I'm sure that didn't record, but that's okay. I think it's a fun little clip, and hopefully it's in the public domain and won't get me in trouble with YouTube. So there he is. Again, legend has it, I read in Monster International, one of their final issues, they reviewed it, or maybe one of the big ones, that underneath this makeup was actually Steve Reeves. Now, I've not seen anything to prove that for or against. It's not listed in here. And they did a really good job, as you saw, hiding the double's face. But that's a very strange looking critter there. But as you saw, he blew up real good, right? So there is, and Machiste brought the final ingredient to return people to life. And there's his fancy Dan equipment. And there's Julia back to life. So all in all, mostly happy ending. Now they're going to return Kurtik to power because his father was the Sultan first. They kind of gloss over what happened there. For 93 minutes, 92 and some change, it works really well. So everyone's happy there. Yay, Machiste! And now we get the credits. This is Salvatore Bilatteri, obviously AIP. But Teacher of Sound, it wasn't recorded down in Copri in Florida. It was up in New York. So you don't hear you hear the voices that you know, but you don't hear them as well because they're not affecting a Japanese, a faux Asian accent. But there's more credits there. Obviously, the Dino De Laurentiis cinematography, well, whatever that is. Dino still got stuff to answer for that useless remake of King Kong in '76. It was almost as useless. It was more useless than the remake. They're about the same, equal. I never want to see either one again. An American International Picture, which, as you know, anytime it says that, you're in for probably some kind of treat. I would like to have seen this as a kid. I would like it a lot more. This time, having watched it more in depth and seeing a decent picture, it's not the best, but if that Blu-ray came out, I didn't know about it. I don't know how much better it would be, but at least we got the American credits. There are ones out there with the Italian ones. If you're a purist, I didn't find anything with an Italian dub. Go figure. But my fellow agents, that is the peplum movie of today and our episode. So until our next time, just remember. Oh, well, wait. Let me cue up the song here. And if you ever need them, the mighty sons of Hercules will be at your beck and call. So until our next assignment tomorrow for Ultraman, this is X7 signing off.
shall take your shape, and in your likeness I will destroy my enemies.
Death and destruction their weapons. Pillaging and plundering. Taking captive both unsullied virgins and alluring concubines.
I will free Julia and all of the others, and those responsible will pay for their crimes.
Into waters abounding with vicious killers of the deep goes Goliath. To reach the sea-protected city of the vampires. Here, men die by the cruelest of executions. A beautiful woman is the devil's own temptress, exploiting the young and innocent. Then justice threatens her with the most horrifying of deaths.
Please, Goliath, save me. You can do it. Help!
In the name of the Sultan, I declare you under arrest. Don't resist us.
But even the might of Goliath is not always enough to match the black magic powers of Cobra.